What if Megalodon were alive today? In today's video, we'll be answering a question that has plagued everyone's imagination to such a great extent that movies have been made about it. And that is, what if the Megalodon was alive today? So we'll be discussing the positive and negative impacts the presence of the Megalodon could have on the environment, and of course, how the world would change. So, without further ado, let's begin with a little history lesson on the Megalodon. History. The Megalodon, scientifically known as Carcharicles megalodon, was a giant prehistoric shark that lived during the Cenozoic era, from around 23 to 3.6 million years ago. The Megalodon is often referred to as one of the largest and most powerful predators to have ever existed, and with good reason too. Estimates of this shark's size vary based on available evidence, but it is believed to have reached lengths of up to 60 feet, 18 meters. Some individual specimens may have actually grown even larger, with some estimates suggesting lengths of up to 82 feet, 25 meters. This enormous size makes the Megalodon significantly larger in comparison to the modern great white shark, which typically grows to around only 15 feet, 4.6 meters in length, and is no joke in terms of size itself. Interestingly, the Megalodon inhabited oceans all over the world, and fossil remains have been found in various locations, including North and South America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. It preferred warm waters and was well adapted to a wide range of marine environments, including coastal areas and open ocean regions. Based on its massive size and powerful bite, it is hard to deny that the Megalodon was an apex predator, feeding primarily on large marine mammals such as whales and seals. Fossil evidence suggests that its diet also included other sharks and large fish. The Megalodon's teeth, which could grow up to 7 inches, 18 centimeters in length, were designed to slice through flesh and crush bone with ease, indicating a predatory lifestyle. It's also believed that the Megalodon was a highly efficient swimmer, capable of reaching relatively impressive speeds. Some researchers suggest that it could have reached speeds of up to 20 to 25 miles per hour, 32 to 40 kilometers per hour. I think that's about enough we need to know about the Megalodon to determine what would happen if it were to be alive today. So let's get into the meat of the video. Competition with modern predators. If the Megalodon was alive today, it wouldn't become the uncontested king of the ocean's resources. Modern predators such as orcas, also known as killer whales, and large sharks like the great white shark occupy similar ecological niches as the Megalodon. These species have evolved to exploit specific food sources and habitats in many different ways. Competition among these predators would involve resource partitioning, where each species adapts to different prey species or hunting strategies to minimize direct competition for resources. Because if all of these predators were to be fighting over the same resources, nobody would get any. Also, different predators employ various hunting strategies and techniques. The Megalodon likely relied on its immense size and strength to overpower and capture large prey, such as whales. In contrast, modern predators such as the aforementioned orcas and great white sharks often employ group hunting strategies, intelligence, and specialized feeding behaviors, as we've discussed in some previous videos. The specific hunting strategies employed by each of these predators would influence their ability to secure resources and potentially mitigate direct competition. What's more is that the Megalodon, orcas, and great white sharks also have overlapping habitat preferences. While the Megalodon is believed to have inhabited various marine environments, it likely favored warm waters. Orcas are highly adaptable and can be found in both cold and warm waters, occupying diverse habitats, including open oceans, coastal areas, and even some freshwater systems. Great white sharks also exhibit a wide range, but are often associated with coastal areas. The overlapping in habitat preferences is going to increase direct competition between these predators, and the fight between the megalodon and modern predators wouldn't end up well for the orca and the great white shark. We might see an eventual decline in the population of orcas and great white sharks, and if left unchecked for too long, they might even go extinct. Interaction with humans. The megalodon, as an enormous predator, would pose a significant risk to human safety. Its size, strength, and predatory nature could make encounters with humans dangerous. Water activities such as swimming, surfing, and boating would carry an increased risk, especially in coastal regions where the megalodon would likely be more prevalent to grab a quick human-sized snack. Precautions and safety measures would be necessary to minimize the potential for human encounters and mitigate the associated risks. However, with a statistic of 5 people being killed by a shark each year, the chances of a megalodon attack are relatively low, unless of course there's a tornado that could carry the shark into the city. Unsurprisingly, the existence of a real-life megalodon would likely generate significant public interest and curiosity. It could potentially lead to a surge in marine tourism, attracting people eager to witness and learn about this ancient predator. Coastal regions where the megalodon is known to inhabit or migrate could experience an increase in tourism-related activities, such as shark-watching tours, museums, and educational programs centered around this remarkable species, with safety in mind, of course. With all of that in mind, the presence of the megalodon could have both positive and negative economic impacts. On one hand, the increased interest in marine tourism could boost local economies, generating revenue for businesses, creating jobs, and supporting related industries. On the other hand, concerns about human safety might lead to a decline in water-related recreational activities, affecting industries such as beachside resorts, water sports, and commercial fishing, potentially leading to economic challenges for these sectors. Also, we can't ignore the fact that the discovery of a living megalodon would provide an incredible opportunity for scientific research. It would offer insights into the biology, behavior, and ecology of this ancient species, helping us better understand its role in marine ecosystems and providing valuable information for comparative studies with modern predators. Scientists would likely conduct research on its physiology, genetics, feeding habits, migration patterns, and other aspects to expand our knowledge of this remarkable creature. Trophic cascades. The megalodon's hunting and feeding habits could create trophic cascades. Let me explain. Trophic cascades are indirect effects that propagate through different trophic levels in a food chain. These occur when changes in the abundance or behavior of one species influences abundance and behavior of species at other trophic levels. In the case of the megalodon, a decrease in the population of large marine mammals caused by its predation would have cascading effects down the food chain. For instance, with fewer large marine mammals like the sperm whale, their prey, such as smaller fish, might experience reduced predation pressure. This could lead to an increase in their populations due to decreased predation, potentially causing imbalances in their own prey resources or competition with other species at lower trophic levels. Furthermore, the increase in prey populations at lower trophic levels could affect the availability of resources for other organisms. For example, if the population of smaller marine mammals or fish increases, they may consume more of their prey species, potentially leading to a decline in their populations. These trophic cascades can have far-reaching effects on the structure and functioning of marine ecosystems. They can influence population dynamics, species interactions, and even ecosystem stability. Understanding and predicting these cascading effects is essential for comprehending the intricate relationships within marine ecosystems and their response to changes in predator populations. But basically, Think of it as a complicated food web that will be severely affected by the presence of the megalodon. Changes in prey behavior. Finally, let's talk about how the behavior of the prey of some marine mammals and fish would change with the addition of the megalodon into the mix. Prey species would develop avoidance strategies to reduce the risk of encountering the megalodon. They may alter their movement patterns, such as changing migration routes or avoiding areas where the megalodon is known to be more prevalent. Prey individuals could also modify their behavior to remain vigilant and quickly respond to signs of danger, such as modifying feeding behaviors to reduce exposure or increase group size to enhance predator detection and defense. Also, prey species may alter their habitat selection to minimize the risk of predation by the megalodon. They could shift their distribution to areas that provide natural refuges or protective features, such as complex topography, shallow waters, or areas with dense vegetation. These habitat shifts could have broader implications for the distribution and dynamics of prey populations, potentially leading to changes in community structure and species interactions. And of course, the megalodon's presence could influence the reproductive strategies of prey species. Prey individuals might modify their reproductive behavior to increase the survival of offspring in the presence of a predator. This could involve choosing different breeding sites, adjusting reproductive timing, or adopting defensive behaviors during reproductive activities. And that's our video about what would happen to the world if the megalodon were alive today. It's safe to say that the megalodon would become a keystone species, dominating the food chain as the uncontested apex predator. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date on videos like this. See you next time.